What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Um, I'm not gonna be long. I'm not gonna be long, but I know that I missed y'all last night. But I had an event that I had to attend, so therefore I was not able to do my normal Friday night live stream, which I've kind of locked in on that day of the week as being the day that if that I guarantee that I'll do a live stream. Try to guarantee, inshallah. But if I miss you on Friday, I was gonna do my best to get one in with you tonight. But I'm not gonna be long at all. I promise I'm not. But I definitely wanna touch on this topic. Judah Lion tribe. The topic should be in the title. The topic not showing on the title, it should be on there. Let me try to put it in real quick, just in case, man. Real quick for y'all, as a few of y'all start to come in. Y'all hit that like button as you come in, and make sure you do that for your big brother. I want to give y'all this title, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I can't walk and chew gum at the same time right now. But y'all give me a second. This is what we're talking about tonight. And the reason why I want to cover this subject, the subject is faking your image and why controversy sells your soul. So controversy sells has dual meaning. It sells because we tend to gravitate towards controversial topics. We gravitate towards controversial images. So those are the things that tend to move us. Those are the things that we spend our money on. If that, you can go as far back as music, the early days of hip hop. If there's a song that comes out and it's really, really raunchy, it's really, really violent. If there's a movie that comes out that's violent, that's raunchy, that's over the top, that's speaking on topics that are not comfortable to people, then those are the things that make people want to go see it. They make people want to go buy it. They want to hear it. And so controversy sells in that regard. But the people who are pushing these fake images, the people who are pushing these controversial topics and things like that, they, in essence, they are selling their souls. So it sells on two fronts. You making some money, but you also are selling your soul simply because you are now participating in a practice that influences other people to maybe go down the roads that you're going down, or even the roads that you're not going down. Because some of the people who portray these images, some of the people who push these narratives, they don't even do this stuff themselves. And we've spoken about this before as it relates to like gangster rap music and things like that, where people will talk about doing things and that they don't even do, but they put it in a song form and they put it in such a way that it sounds so good, and the beat is so jamming, and the hook is so catchy, and the flow pattern is so enticing that you start to fall in love with that song, and before you know it, you got a whole generation of people who are following behind whatever it is that song is talking about. So you are, in essence, now putting blood on your own hands based on what came out of your mouth. Your words have led to blood being on your hands because you are now responsible to a degree for the actions of a lot of people who are now starting to go the wrong way in their behavior because of a song that you created. So you sold your own soul by helping to destroy the souls of other people. And that's something that a lot of us as rappers had to kind of grow out of. A lot of us had to grow out of in our ignorance back in our younger days, where we just followed behind people that were doing the same thing, and we made these kind of songs that were not productive, but they were counterproductive. And then as we grew up, we started to say, whoa, wait a minute. I got to have more accountability for the words I speak, because people are very impressionable. And people like to talk about how young people are impressionable. And they are. Young people are very impressionable, but a lot of older people are impressionable too. You would be surprised at how easily moved and influenced a lot of older people are. Let me move this little thing out the way, because there are people who are in their 30s, man. People are in their 40s, and they still, the words that come out of their mouths still kind of speak to a behavior that should not be reflective of how old they are. So you kind of set back, you step back, and you taking it back, because you're like, wait, man, you're too old to still be talking like that. You too old to still be thinking like that, bruh. You too old, sister, to still be talking about this and singing that particular song about this and that. You 46, you 39, so it doesn't really just apply to young people being impressionable. If the influence is strong enough, then it can have an effect on people of all ages. I remember this movie came out a long time ago. It was called Strapped. And the movie was about how these young cats got caught up in selling guns and putting guns on the street. They were dealing with this cat that was selling guns, and they was putting these guns out on the streets and all that, man. And I had a buddy of mine. He got swept up by that movie. And this man, he loved that movie. He was speaking the language of that movie, the words, the terminology that they would use in that movie. That's what let me know that he was influenced by it. And he was gone after that. And then shortly after, he developed an obsession with guns and things of that nature. So, and he was pretty old. He was older, let's say. He wasn't no teenager, no middle school cat. He was old enough to know better, to not be caught up in that. And so we can't just apply that impressionable tag to young people, but people who come into the entertainment industry, whether it be in music, whether it be in acting, whether it be in radio, and media in different forms, people who come into that industry, the first thing that comes into your mind is you're thinking of some kind of way that you can elevate and go to the next level. You're thinking of some kind of way to do what's referred to as blow up, to make it big. Those are the terms that people strive for and seek for when they come into this industry, however they come into it. And there are a lot of people, unfortunately, man, that's willing to do all kind of things to get to that level, unspeakable things that they would do to not only degrade other people, but to degrade their own people and to degrade themselves. They have no hesitations in saying, you know what, man, I'll do whatever I got to do to make it. And I kind of touched on that the other day when I was talking about this guy I knew who was kind of casting out little hints about how he would be willing to do anything to succeed in the rap game. And he phrased it like it was a joke. But there are certain things that grown men don't crack jokes about. There are certain lines of manhood that men don't joke about. And this brother joked about that and was kind of like, ha, 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 ha. And I was like, ha, 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 ha. So, but the reality is that we've seen so many celebrities reach certain heights, and sometimes we never know what they did to reach those heights, but other times we kind of find out what they did. Hey, y'all hit that like button for your big brother. If you're in here now and you haven't hit the like button, please be sure to do so for your brother, man. I appreciate y'all being in here with me. Like I said, I'm not gonna hold y'all up long, but I wanted to get this off of my chest, man. Back in the days, you would have people who celebrity. The thing about a celebrity back in the days was to try to keep their private life as private as possible. This is long before social media came along. People wanted to keep their private life as private as possible. Nowadays, it's actually the opposite. Nowadays, the key is for celebrities to try their best to expose whatever parts of themselves, literally, that they can expose and in their private life in order to draw attention to themselves, to gain popularity, to gain notoriety. So I can remember back in this was in the 90s. Now the tape had been made probably in the early 80s or whatever, because it was real poor quality, and it was on VHS. It was a VCR tape, and a sex tape. It was a sex tape, but it had leaked out. It had gotten out, and I guess people had dubbed it down. And of course, us being the guys we were, we wanted to see the tape because of the people who were in it, because of the celebrities that were in it. And but in that time, that was something that was like, oh man, that was an embarrassment to the people who were involved in the tape. You fast forward to today, people are intentionally putting their own tapes out. They're doing it themselves. They're making sure that their tapes get leaked. See? And it's weird because, like I spoke of, like back in the days, the sex tapes that were out, they were very poor quality. They were almost unviewable. It was like you knew that, okay, this was just, they did this on their own, some kind of way. However it got out, it got out. Nowadays, you see the sex tapes that they're putting out nowadays, it's quality like like a film crew. It's like it's not a home tape, like just a personal, well, he just set the camera up his own way and then they just, however. No. So it tells you that people are intentionally trying to create this and then put this out there in order to get themselves popping like that, because that's controversy. So they say controversy sells, they say sex sells. And what happens is when that controversial thing comes out, what happens is now everybody's talking about it. Did you see it? Did you see it? Oh man, you got it. Where can I see it at? Send me these days, send me the link, blah, blah, blah. Now everybody's talking about this particular subject and this particular person. And now they have done what we all know today in this day and age. They have done what's called going viral. They've gone viral. Everybody wants to go viral because that is their method. That is their way to what they believe is fame. And the same way they say that all money ain't good money, we got to understand that there are people who say all press is good press. That's not true. Just like all money ain't good money. Well, as long as they talking about you, as long as they saying something about you, that's good. No, it's not. Because you have to have pride and dignity as a person, and you have to have self-respect as a person to be somebody that that takes value in their self-image, and to understand that there are certain things that are not for the whole world to lay their eyes on. But the way that we've been shaped, our minds have been molded to think that, hey man, this is it. This is going to be my ticket to fame. This is going to be my ticket to money. the way we're set up to think like that, that's why we don't even care no more. We are totally desensitized to any type of moral, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say moral obligations, but that we very desensitized to that. But just any moral standards, any embarrassment, any feelings of, man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Let's go for it. Is this gonna put me up? Am I going to have this? How many views you think this will get if I do this? How many followers do you think that this will generate for me if I do this? And that seems to be the only thing that matters. And we got to change that. We got to fix that, because the main thing that I try to tell people all the time is that what we got to understand is a lot of times the mindset that we are in today does not necessarily, I'm sorry, I'm watching a dunk contest, y'all, does not necessarily mean you're going to be in that same mindset 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Doesn't mean you're going to be in that same frame of mind. And so there are things that we did when we were younger that when we think about those things today, those of us who got a little bit, just a grain of like, just a grain of morals and just remorse, just we like, oh man, you know, you feel some kind of way about it. You feel bad that you said this. You feel bad that you did this. And you really, really feel bad if what you did or what you said was consciously done for some kind of status gain. Sometimes we just ignorant. We just do stuff because I was just a fool. That's just what I did. We didn't really even have a motive behind it. But other times there's a motive. We looking at it like, okay, even if you go all the way back to school and say, well, I'm doing this to impress this particular crowd because I kind of want to be involved in this particular crowd. So that's why I'm doing this. That's the small level that it starts on. But then it kind of elevates up if you're pursuing a career in entertainment or politics or athletics or something along that nature. People are willing to do unspeakable things. And now sometimes there are people who will say, well, man, you know what, whatever the person do, man, if that's what they choose to do, then you know that's on them. I mean, why are you worried about what somebody else is doing? You know, if they choose to do that, that's on them. Okay, but the truth of the matter is that once you reach a certain level, there are so many people who already have their eyes on you, because you got people who started off on a certain level. They were kind of known, but they wanted to bust through the roof and get to another level. So they had to do something that was going to push them up through that next level. That's when the sex tapes come out. That's when the controversial thing that shocks the world comes out. And they want to get to that next level. But if you got a base that's already supporting you, that's already aware of you, people who already kind of ride with you, then you may lose some of those people because they ain't with your actions, but you might also encourage and push impressionable ones into that same type of behavior. So if I'm a popular rapper and I make a song about a drug, if I make a song about fentanyl and I'm a popular rapper, then yes, it's going to push people to start messing around with fentanyl, and people going to get sick. People going to die. And I am complicit in that. You see what I'm saying? So we can't just say, hey, man, you know, what I do That's what I do, man. My lifestyle is what I do. Y'all should work. We can't just say that, man. That's a very selfish mentality to take, that a lot of people take. And it's very dangerous. It's very dangerous, because if you're looking at the money that you gonna make, man, I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid. Yeah, you are getting paid. But what I intended to start this off with was the scripture that says, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world? Meaning that all of the accolades, all of the trinkets, all of the fame and the fortune that comes with this world, you've attained all that. You got the cars, you got the houses, the jewelry, you have all the perks. But in the end, you lose your soul. So what is losing your soul? Because so many people will make the mistake of thinking that you're talking about, okay, you're gonna die and then you're gonna go down under the ground to hell where there's a man with a pitchfork poking you and pushing you into the fire. Nah, that's not what losing your soul is. It's actually more extreme than that. It's actually deeper than that, because a lot of people who lose that soul, that means that they fall from what they thought was grace, and they suffer from the crash and burn and the humiliation in this world, while they're still around to see it, while they're still around to receive the bombardment from the same public who may have at one time actually seemed to have love for them. So you reach that high, but just like any other high, just like the physical high when you do some drugs, it's an illusion. You getting high, you feel like, oh man, this is psychedelic, man. I'm somewhere else. I'm on another. I can fly. I can. It's an illusion. It's the same thing with that high that you experience after you have sold your soul and sold your people out for that particular prize that you think you're getting. Then you come down off that high, or you're pulled down from that high. You're made to be sober because of the situation and circumstances, and then guess what happens after that? The sobering reality kicks in that I've made a big mistake. I made a terrible, terrible mistake. Now, in some cases, very rare cases, that mistake can be corrected. But in other cases, you never see these people again. They're gone. They're gone. So when those people are gone, and if there are people who they have disrespected and stepped on along the way, and in some cases an entire people, because we got a lot of brothers and sisters in our community, in the Black community, that have went down those roads and that are currently going down those roads. And when they fall, man, see, the thing about Black folks, man, we will forgive everybody but us. I'll say that again. Black people will forgive everybody but each other. We will forgive the person who walked in a room and machine gunned our grandmother. Dude walk in the room and just mow your grandmother down. We will stand right in the courtroom and go, I hope that God gives your heart understanding, and that he accepts you and forgives you. And I pray for you every night, because I believe in the power and the greatness and the good conscience of people. And I pray for you. I forgive you. We'll stand up and do that person. That dude and walk in there and murdered your grandma. But when one of us slip, and even if they didn't slip, even if they intentionally took that step, it's over. Look, we won't forgive each other for a mistake, much less something intentional like that. So when you look at that selling out because you wanted to portray an image, because you wanted to advance in that field, and you didn't care if you did it at the expense of yourself and your own people, hey, it's a dangerous game that you play. That's a dangerous game that you play. So yeah, controversy sells, but it sells in two ways. It sells, it makes money, and it sells your soul. And we do it for what? What's the new term everybody uses these days? They call it clout chasing, right? You want to go viral, clout chasing. You want to be seen and viewed as somebody big. So that's what I got to do. Then that's what I got to do to be seen and viewed as somebody big. Now, when you transfer over into media, this is where it gets really dangerous. It gets really dangerous when you transfer over into media simply because you have media has the power to project and to spread the story. This is long before social media. You had news channels, just general news channels. You had radio programs that had the ability to push a story, to push a narrative, and put something out there about a person that will spread all around the planet. And then people will start to form an opinion based on who they're talking about, and everybody got to find out what it is. But now with social media being in existence, the game has changed, because whereas in the beginning you only had a few TV stations, some radio outlets, now the average person, anybody has the ability to create a platform, to create a podcast, to create some form of platform that will allow them to get their narrative out. So you got a lot of popular channels right here on YouTube of people who have hundreds of thousands of followers, and up into some cases in the millions of followers, and they do celebrity gossip stuff, right? They give opinionated stances on certain topics and certain categories, and they get a lot of action off of it. But with that kind of popularity and with that kind of backing comes a responsibility, it comes a weight, and it comes as a danger involved in it that a lot of them don't recognize, because they are looking at the views. They're looking at, man, I'm popping. Man, I'm up to 300,000 followers. I'm up to 1 million subs. I'm doing. So what they use to get those subs, you're on there hollering and screaming. You're on there talking negative about people that you don't even know in a definitive way, as if everything that you're saying about these people is the absolute truth. You slandering people. You putting out propaganda on people. You going in, you giving your opinion of it, even if it ain't really your opinion, your view on it. But you know what's gonna rile the people up. But you're doing it at the expense of somebody else. Now, whether it's true or not, I'm just one of them people, man. That's probably why my little channel will never just pop like that, because I'm just one of them people who, I don't believe that everybody is just fair game like that. I just don't believe that everybody is fair game to where, okay, well, he or she is famous, that gives me the right to just unload on them regardless if it's true, just so I can hype my thing up. If I speak on something, again, I speak on it to relay a principle. And that person may have been the catalyst behind me wanting to relay that principle. But everybody just ain't fair game like that, man. Because you got a family. They have a family. And you have to always... See, some of these people can dish it out, but they can't take it. Because you want to be a shock jock. You want to be an individual who just, everybody comes to see what you got to say about it. Everything is for shock value. But a lot of those people, man, trust me, they can dish it out, but they can't take it. The second that somebody comes out and puts them in the same boat that they've been putting people in for the longest, they crack up, or they get mad, or they want to file a lawsuit. They want to file a cease and desist. Leave my name out your mouth, but you can put everybody else's name coming out of your mouth. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? Because you're looking at yourself from an angle, from a standpoint of that, what I do is important because it sustains me. So your importance, your life and your being sustained and coming up is more important than anybody else's. So it doesn't matter who you step on and victimize along the way. And we're just following the pattern of these same satanic people who have always done the same thing, but they do it on a bigger scale. The scale we do it on is lightweight. So you go back to guys like Don Imus. Y'all may have to look up some of these names I mentioned. You go back to people like Rush Limbaugh. You deal with people like Howard Stern, who's probably just the top shelf of the sensationalism and those type of things that he has always done to just degrade people and bring people down. Doesn't matter who it is. You go all the way back to people like that, and they have made their name, their fame, and their fortune off of the destruction, the verbal destruction of other people through the controversy, through lies, through mockery, racist comments, through extremist political stances. I did a radio show one time a few years back, and I won't say the name of the person who it was, but it was a white guy who had like a podcast where he was talking about a lot of political stuff, and he had his views. He had those far out views that were totally opposite from the things that I believe in. I'm not a person who believes in politics on a national level. I believe that every president, let me say this the right way. I was about to say something. I believe that the presidents of the United States have never had the interests of Black people in mind and poor people in mind. So there's never been a time in my life that I was just kind of like, okay, we got to get this guy in. We got to get this guy in for a spell. Of course, when Obama was running, I had hope that he would come in and do some things. But, we found out later that that wasn't the case. But we also understand the shadow government and things of that nature as well. But I went on this radio show, and the guy just started going in, just attacking my views. And I knew coming in that that's what it was. I knew I had already been briefed about what I was getting myself into. So I was ready for it. And, we got on the show and we went back and forth. He said what he said, I said what I said, expressed my views. But what was really, really interesting to me was that after the show was over and we were walking together, through the parking garage, going to our vehicles, and the guy said, "Hey man, I don't believe a lot of that stuff I was saying up there, man. You know, I just gotta stir it up, you know, for the audience." And that surprised me. And the reason why it surprised me is because when he was speaking it, it sure did sound like he believed in what he was saying. And he probably did. Or probably did, but not to the degree that he expressed it on the air. So he straight up told me, he said, man, oh, don't pay no attention. A lot of, he actually said, a lot of what you said, man, you know, I agree with that, man. I just had to be basically devil's advocate to take the other side. And that was interesting to me because I was like, okay, I understand what this is about. See, because up until that point, I guess I should have known better, but I had never thought about the fact that, you know, some of these people on air, it's just a fake image. It's just, they're characters. They're just personalities, concocted personalities that they have made up to get the rise. When you get the rise out of the people, people are gonna come to your platform whether they love you or hate you, because those that love you, they're gonna come because they love you, but those that hate you, they're gonna come to hate you some more. It's like back in the days when Muhammad Ali was boxing and he would talk so much trash to the fighters that he fought, and especially to the white boxers that he fought back in the 60s in racist America, when it was super open. Racism was super open and overt. And there were people who loved Muhammad Ali, but there were those who hated him so much that they would come paid to come to the fight just because they wanted to see him lose. So there are people like that in every field. There's people that are like, you know, hey man, I'm gonna come. It's people like that with me. On my little small platform, there are people who come when I do these live streams or when I post videos. If I'm speaking on a particular topic that is based around race, that's based around politics, based around religion, anything, any of those types of topics, those are very controversial topics. There are people who come specifically to my platform just to try to either troll or try to put up their opposing views that you never see. And if I make a video about how I grew a flower the other day, you ain't gonna see him. You don't see him on those videos. So that's the thing. People love or hate you when you're controversial. The lovers and the haters gonna come together, and they're going to accomplish the goal of forming the whole, which is all the person wants in the first place. That's all they want. They just want the whole. They want them views. See? So you got people like Howard Stern and then you got people that come behind them that have tried to do the same thing. And unfortunately, a lot of black people, we've tried to do the same thing and emulate them, and we tear down our own people while doing that. And that's a dangerous game to play, because all you thinking about is, man, I'm making money. This is about money. I will portray this image, but the same as it is with anything in life, the same as you can take a person who will listen to a particular rap song and it will rile them up so heavy that they will go out and would do something extreme. They might shoot at a police officer or something. It's like, whoa, what made you do that? And he may say, oh man, I'm just tired of the injustice. I was listening to this song and that's why I did it. The same principle applies from different angles, meaning that you are faking this character. You are faking this character. You're acting like you're this particular character, all because it draws sets of eyes to you. And when you fake being that character and you get that kind of attention, then guess what happens? You rub people the wrong way. Certain people are, yeah, but other people, you rub them the wrong way. And if you are discussing people that they love and support, you got people that'll deal with you on that level behind that. Now the difference is that if you're in a situation where you are standing on a principle, you are standing on facts, you're standing on principles and history and things that represent a foundation of truth that can be proven, then hey man, you mash the gas. Mash the gas and don't be scared of no consequences, because that's the opposite of selling your soul. That's saving your soul. But if you are a fake character, you're playing a dangerous game. And you can act like, oh man, I don't care. Okay. But you're playing a dangerous game, because there are individuals who will deal with you. And the very children that you were saying, well, man, I got to feed my children, I got to do, they will no longer have a father like that. So the question is, what's important to you? What's important to you? This character, this image, this money that is losing its value every day? And like all characters, like all fake images, at some point, they fade. The people grow tired of the act. So when the people get tired of the act, you'll be around for a little while. You'll pop for a little while. But the people will grow tired of your act. And then what can you revert to? You can't try to come back and be real again. What you gonna do? Oh man, I've seen the light. Nah, because the people ain't stupid. The people are not dumb. The people are gonna recognize. See, you got people who have they jumped on the political train. In other words, candidates that were hot, candidates that were popping, and they got an opportunity to jump on the train. Back when Trump was the president, you saw a lot of black people that would jump on the Trump train and just to try to get, just to try to be in Massa's house, right? And so they would express the support. I ride with her. And it ain't just about with Trump, because this goes back. You had people that did this with Reagan, with Bush. There were always Negroes who was easing up next to these presidents. Clinton, anybody you name. It's not about a party, because you know, just told you I could care less about that. It's about trying to gain favor with a devil at the expense of your own people. So Fox will put you on TV and say, ready and go. And they'll just let you just run off at the mouth talking about how ignorant and foolish and dumb black people are, and this is the problem, and blah, 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 and this is this and this is that, and they'll just let you do it. And your people are at home watching you like, wow, he really went out like that. She really went out like that. And not understanding that when the wave of the person that you are caping for, when that wave subsides and fades out, you fade out with it. But let me tell you something. You Negroes go first. You're going to fade out first because you never you were never part of the long-term plan in the first place. Never. You were just a piece that was needed in the moment. Okay, how can I attract this group of Negroes? Oh, him? Oh, he's willing to do it? How much? He don't want but 200,000? Yeah, get him. Yeah, go get her. Go get them two right there. Oh, he'll stand on, oh, he'll twerk. She'll twerk. No, I say he'll twerk. Oh, he'll twerk? Yeah, come on. See? And they'll do all these things, man. They'll coon and buffoon from midnight to noon. They'll coon and buffoon from midnight to noon, all the way up until they're no longer needed. And when they're no longer needed, you won't even get I appreciate you. You just gone. Now you in limbo because your master has abandoned you and cut you loose, and you abandoned your own people and they cut you loose. So you just there now. Now you can now the reality can kick in to ask yourself, was it worth it? Was it important? See? What does it profit a man to gain the whole world? Now peep the game on that. We say, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? Another question could be, what does it profit a man to not even gain the whole world and still lose his soul? You didn't even make it to the point where you gained the whole world. You got knocked off the mountain, not even halfway up it. See, this is a mistake that we make in our quest to try to be somebody. Because the somebody that you're trying to be is not nobody at all. You just think it is. You want to be nearer to the master. That's why we act like we act at work. That's why we act like we act in other social settings. You around your homeboys, y'all chopping it up. Yeah, man, we gonna. As soon as the supervisor walk up, hi, yes, sir. I'll have that on your desk. And like, what this dude? Like, who are you? You know who this guy is? See, that's a problem. Don't fake your image. Be unapologetically you, no matter who is in the room. Be unapologetically you, no matter who is in the room. Shout out to Vetty Bell. I appreciate the donation, my brother. Y'all hit that like button, man. Give me up to 100 likes. Pop them likes, man. Pump them likes up for your big brother, man. Everything is based around building up numbers. This is a numbers game. Everything is based around hyping up something so big that it just makes everybody have to see what it's all about. They put millions of dollars into it. They'll push, and put millions of dollars into something just to get everybody out because they can use those millions to make hundreds of millions, possibly billions, if they amp it up big enough. They sell controversy, they sell beef, they sell sex, they sell fear, they sell dreams, they sell hopes and false ideas. These are the things that we buy into more than anything. Nothing of substance. Very little substance is what we buy into. All the things I just mentioned, we are quick to try to get in and make it, and we will invest in false hope, false dreams, false aspirations. We will invest in that in a heartbeat, but nothing substantive. It's not interesting. It's boring. That's boring. That ain't gonna get me no views. You ever seen a weatherman? You ever seen the thing where they expose some of those weathermen where they're standing in the storm? You know how we back in the days we used to see the weatherman standing in the storm and like, we're standing here in this hurricane and it's really bad out here in the wind. And you just like, man, this fool just standing right in the middle of this storm, man, and it's freaking you out. But I saw this one clip where this guy was doing that. He was just acting like he acting like he couldn't even lean forward, like the storm was blowing by him. And then the wide shot showed two people just walking by, regular, right behind him. Blew his whole cover because his objective, his job was to present the image to the viewing audience that this storm was off the chain. These winds were just horrific, whether you felt the winds or not. You probably could walk outside door and say, oh, it ain't that bad. But you watching the news like, oh my God. And them cats walk right behind him like it was nothing. Sensationalism. I've seen women, and I've said this before, I've seen women who had social media pages and they were pushing consciousness. They was woke. They were talking about being aware and focused on the struggle. And they'll put a post up. They'll quote Maya Angelou. They'll quote whoever. And they get 5 likes, 2 comments. And after a while of doing that, I guess they couldn't take it no more. So now, the pictures you see of them now, they got on a little bitty hood we refer to as, they call them coochie cutter. You're bent over, you turn, every picture you take now, you're turning your butt to the camera. You're showing off your body now because you wasn't getting enough likes when you were trying to stand on truth and principle. So now you got to figure out a way to get them likes up. So now you're naked. You got brothers who want to be gangsters. They faking a hard image. And it's a price that comes with that because you on social media talking about how hard you are, how much backup you got, how many weapons you got, what you would do to somebody. We'll pull up, drop your location, all this different stuff that you're talking about now. And we've seen too many times where young brothers have got taken out because of that image that they trying to live up to on social media. You are in essence turning yourself into a movie actor. The social media platform, the phone and the computer monitor, that's your TV, that's your stage. And you're faking this image, acting like you this tough guy, and until a real tough guy calls you on it. Until a real tough guy catches you out somewhere and decides that, oh, that's that dude that be flexing all like he'll do this and he'll do that. Let me see if he'll really do that. Let me see what how hard he really stand on that. So you've cast out something into the universe that created and shaped an environment that became dangerous to you. because you was faking an image. It's nothing wrong with just being exactly who you are and having no problems explaining to people who you are not. Hey man, you what's up, bro? You smoke? You want to hit it? Yeah, I'll hit it. And you don't know what they passed you. Now you around here crazy as all I know. I shouldn't say crazy. So these are the identity crises that we go through. See? We're faking images. All because you're trying to be, at the very least, hood famous. You're trying to be hood famous. The louder you are, the more ignorant you are, and you can mix a little bit of truth in there, a little bit of knowledge and wisdom in there. It's a formula. Mix in just enough to make people say, oh, he be saying some real stuff though. He be, see, y'all don't get it. No, you don't get it. And you gonna get it. See? So we follow in the path of our masters. We follow in the path of those who want position. You'll never get what they get, because the second that you stand on any truth that's real truth that exposes what they do, or the second you even stay in your ignorance and say something silly that's a little bit over the top for you, you out of there. They're going to be your own people that cancel you. They're going to cancel you because there are things that they're allowed to get away with and say that you'll never be able to get away and say. So everybody's talking about Joe Rogan and the fact that he used the N-word like he's saying hello. And I'm one of those people who, again, I am never surprised. First of all, when he used the N-word, he used it openly. Ain't like they found some tapes of him using the N-word and they discovered these tapes and like, whoa, he got butt. Like, he was saying it out in the open. Because let me explain something to you. And see, this is going to make a lot of people mad, because what happens is, this is what happens with black folks. See, this is one of the problems that we have that we got to correct. When there's a white person who we like, who we view as, oh, he's cool. Oh, he gets it. He's not like, when there's a white person like that, what happens is, when they expose themselves or when they show themselves to be just like the rest of them, we do this. Or we act like it's no big deal. And the truth is, it is no big deal, because, again, whoever they are is going to come out. But you have black celebrities, just like with Vlad, like say, I don't care if it's Joe Rogan, who has a lot of black celebrities that he interacts with, a lot that may consider him to be friends. We cool. Nope. Because it goes back to what I said earlier. When it's us, we will not, man, black dude step on another black dude's shoe, it's over. But we will give them a pass no matter what. Well, y'all didn't look at the context in which what Joe was saying, and then. So I'm not saying that to just go like, well, I'm just going in. No, because look, we got work to do on ourselves. See, we fix ourselves in our own condition, then we ain't got time to worry about some white dude using the N-word, because they use the N-word behind closed doors anyway. They sing the rap songs and they say it. They got black friends that they hang around that allow them to say it. See? So it's not it's not about him saying the word. It's about us viewing each other in ways where, okay, well, we should learn to be more forgiving of each other, the same way we trying to brush that under the rug because I like Joe. Oh, I like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was the first real black president. Boy, Bill could play that saxophone. Bill Clinton locked up more black folks than, whoo. Oh, but boy, see, Bill, boy, he got it. Bill came on Arsenio and played the sax. See? Vlad. And I've been through the Vlad stuff, man, but you have to bring the remembrance of this type of stuff just so people understand. You know, these cats, man, their love for black people is only based around how they can benefit from black people. So people will look at a guy like Vlad and they'll say, well, I can advance myself by going on his platform. What he said about Minister Farrakhan has nothing to do with me. What he does in terms of tricking these young brothers to incriminate themselves and others to get locked up, that has nothing to do with me. When in fact it has everything to do with you and with us, because we should never allow any individual. Look, we get count. Whoopi Goldberg made a true statement and the whole world came down on her. We allow everybody to degrade us. But if we don't like them, we'll go in. But if we kind of like them and they seem kind of cool, oh, nah, these people won't even talk about that. But who am I? I ain't nobody. I ain't nobody, man. But one thing I will say, see, look, you got a guy here right now. Joe Rogan wasn't calling anyone an N. Bruh, Joe Rogan said he went to go see the movie The Planet of the Apes in a black neighborhood. And he said when he walked in, he thought he was on the Planet of the Apes. What does that sound like to you, man? But I'm not here to go back and forth about that. I'm not going to buy into any defense of this man using the word, because whether you directly say it at a person, by him saying it, is enough. But again, it's more about us. If we fix us to a degree where we don't even have to depend on their platforms, we'll be fine. So Rogan, Vlad, Howard Stern, anybody else that you can think of that will have black people on their platforms for whatever reason, if we build ourselves up and unify among ourselves and establish ourselves, we would never have to worry about going on their platforms. Or if we look at some of the other brothers and sisters who have big platforms, nice size platforms, why don't we turn them into a Rogan-sized platform, a Vlad-sized platform? We always put the validation in the enemy all the time. Well, theirs is just better. Yeah, because we help to make it better. Especially in the case of Vlad, ain't nothing but black folks coming on Vlad. What is the percentage of white people that go on Vlad's platform? 2%? The other 98 is us? Maybe some of our Latino brothers and sisters here. I don't know. He say he apologized. Oh, he apologized. Yeah. Whoopi Goldberg apologized for a statement that she made that was actually true. What she said, she got suspended and took down. See, so that's the double standard. That's the BS angle of it, because everything when they apologize, oh, it's fine. Spotify took no action against Joe Rogan, to my knowledge. Correct me if I'm wrong. But you can look at little bitty me. They snatched one of my songs off of Spotify. I'm not on the plane with a Joe Rogan, but Joe Rogan generates a lot of revenue for Spotify. So it's easier to smack me or somebody else upside the head. But money is the key. So a form of selling our soul is to continue to participate and continue to patronize and continue to go on these platforms with these cats who don't care nothing about you. Don't care who you say. He's cool. Is he? Is he? Is he? Let me see what y'all talking about, man. Is that XYG Muhammad? Overnight success can mean different things. You absolutely right about that. That's a fact. Overnight, no such thing as overnight success. That's right. Mr. Hardy said, AK, I posted your I apologize video on the views page the other day. Man, look. And I didn't predict it, brother. I didn't predict it. I'm following a wise teacher, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He teaches this. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he teaches this and predicted that these things are gonna. I just pass on the teachings the best that I can, and based on what we see going around us, and based on the pattern of history that has repetitiously played itself out. So black people are brought down to dust when we misspeak, when we make a statement that is offensive, anti-Semitic. We are smashed into dust and taken on what I call now the apology tour. They will run you through the apology tour. That means you don't just get to apologize one time and then you back in your seat. That ain't how it work with us. You got to go several platforms. You got to meet with their organizations. You got to be made to understand why your statement was wrong and insensitive and whatever they claim it is. Then you got to take classes. Then after that, hope you get your spot back. It's a difference. There are over 100 million Native Americans died in America. You are an honest, stolen man. The conversation we're having, that conversation will never end. Shout out to the Native Americans. Nobody leaves Hollywood rich. Not many of the entertainers. But those who control Hollywood, they absolutely leave Hollywood rich. They go to their graves not rich, but generationally wealthy. See? I'm more interested in how anybody knew Whoopi said anything. The fact The View has viewers is upsetting. A lot of people like The View, a lot of people don't. I guess it just depends on what your taste is. Jason Barrett says, are we asking our enemies to be fair? The key is separation and self-sufficiency. Can't argue with that. And that's what I mean. Separation. So in the beginning stages, what if we separated from Vlad? What if black folks just said, we are separate, we're going to migrate away. No black people go on Vlad. His platform will be shut down overnight. If every black entertainer says, we ain't never going on Vlad, we've done with Vlad. I don't see that happening. But just imagine if every black entertainer decided they're not going on Vlad ever. He's done. That's a form of separation. The power in our unity, which is stronger than an atomic bomb, so teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Think about that. That would be such a powerful demonstration of black unity that you've never seen before. We ain't going on Vlad no more. He's done. He had to start back DJing again. See? You make a good point. Ron Paul Adai. You said no one cared about Joe Rogan and the N-word. That was just because he's exposing the vaccine. There's an element to that, of course. But a lot of black people did care about that N-word. See, when you're talking about the big wigs, yeah, they didn't care about the N-word. They looked at the power that he has in his platform, and they may say, oh, well, you know what, he can be influential against our other agenda. Yeah. But that ain't my problem, because I know what my view on that is. Tina P, the OG. Tina come in, you know how the coolest people back in the days would show up to the party. They show up to the party late so they can make that grand entrance. Tina P comes sliding in. Uh-oh. Hold up. Wait a minute. My brother is in the building, man. Y'all see that name, Pee Wee Broussard, right there? He's undercover, see? That's a legendary SPC member, man. From 30 years deep. 30 years deep, man. I need an OG salute. I need an OG salute, man. Everybody in the chat right now, put up a peace sign. Everybody in the chat, give me a peace sign. Give me a power fist. Give me a salute. Give me a 100. Give me something to pay homage to my brother who blessed us with his presence right now. I need y'all to do that for me right now. I'll still be reading y'all's comments while y'all doing it, but I need an OG salute right now. Calculus says, greater love has no man than to lay down his life for his fellow man. Some scriptures say lay down his life for a friend, but you know, just different translations. That's what it's going to take to expose the culprits behind this pandemic. The Five Eyes and faux Israel. Let me go back. Angela Lindsay, what was so bad about what Whoopi Goldberg said? She told the truth. Wasn't nothing bad about it, but depending on who you ask. See? So the fake images, the seeking of controversy. That's why clickbait is such a big thing. Somebody got on they got a picture on their thumbnail, they'll put a big old round booty on there. You click it. And instead of seeing the big round booty, they got something else on there. Somebody mixing up some cake mix. I want to show you my recipe for pound cake. You're like, oh man, they got me. Got that view. Too late. Too late. See? Appreciate the love, man. We will never truly get to the truth behind everything that goes on in this dark world. Absolutely, Bear 1K, because as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, he said, we can never fathom the depths of Satan. Our minds are not even created to go to those depths of evil. We ain't even built like that. That's why we could see certain things that folks do, and it just blows our mind because we can't even imagine doing. It's like, man, how can he even do that? And some of the things that are done are so extreme that when you hear about it, when your mind is not wired up like that, you don't even believe it's true. You're like, nah, man, nobody is that evil. No, nah. But in fact, be straight up that evil. Appreciate the love, Mark Levin. See? That's why I say we war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places. See? So my thing to say to y'all, yeah, see, Taurus, they are, see, Stephen A. Smith apologized a few times. He don't have no problem with it. If he gets to going too far over the top and they call him in, oh, he'll apologize quick. And then he'll line back up like a lot of our brothers and sisters. They will line back up and, hey, man, I need you to get back to going in on black folks. Watch your mouth. And he'll come back. They'll come back and double down. He'll come back and double down on Kyrie Irving and something like that to get back in good graces. Too many of us got that going on. It's too many of us. And it's sad because, again, you will not be the winner. And everybody will say, man, you got to get your money, man. Man, y'all playing with that money. Man, I don't play with my money. Whatever I got to do to get this money. See, let me say this to y'all real quick. That's the most dangerous type of person in the world. A person that talks like that, that says, man, I got to do whatever I got to do to get this money. Because a person who says that, that means as it relates to you too. If it's your friend or somebody you know, somebody you affiliated with, somebody that you view from a distance that you may look up to, you don't want any parts. I'm telling y'all this, man. I mean this. You do not want any parts of friendship with any person that will say, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get this money. That's a dangerous person. You don't know what they're capable of. They will throw you under the bus in a minute. They will sell you out. They will kill you. lie on you, deceive you, steal from you. If a person does not have any type of morals about themselves to where there are certain things that just are off limits, even as it relates to high amounts of money, you need to eliminate all affiliation with that person effective immediately. That's a dangerous person, man. I don't want no friend that'll do anything for some money. And what's even more dangerous is that they actually said that out loud. Man, y'all worry about the wrong things about this money. Then please don't make the mistake and say, well, what about your people? What about, man, everybody, that they telling you, they're telling you what you're dealing with. Appreciate you, Tina P, the OG. They telling you what you're dealing with, man. Like they say, when people show you who they are, believe them. If somebody say that around, man, I'm cutting you off instantly, because there has to be something that money is not worth you doing. And you steady hanging out with them. Then when the time comes for them to actually prove that what they said is true, they gonna prove it. And it might be at your expense. So you hear so many rumors, and I don't know if this stuff is true, man, but you hear so many rumors about celebrities who sacrifice family members for fame and all that. I don't know if that stuff is true, but in principle, that's what it brings to my mind, because it makes me think like, man, it's no way in the world a person could come to me and tell me, well, hey man, you let us bump off your bomb, you'll be in the stratosphere this time next year. Look, man, your mama lived a good life, man. Like, what? Are you crazy? And some of them people, they get to that level and they still are miserable. Still are not fulfilled, still not happy, still on drugs real bad, still killing themselves, jumping off buildings and blowing their brains out and overdosing. So you get to the top, dollar bill. I see you. I was writing to one of your beats last night. So they get to the top, and it's not what you think it is. It ain't what it's cracked up to be. So all that you did to try to get there, all that you gave up, all that you sacrificed, all the times that you compromised your integrity and your soul, that stuff you got to live with for the rest of your life. The time you let them people touch on you, man and woman, and you didn't have to. You could have said, man, F y'all, man, you ain't doing me like that, and leave. You let them do it. All the times you endured that kind of language because you was trying to get in that political realm. You was hanging around them. They was using the N-word around. They was cracking black jokes around you. Hey Tyrone, come here. You ever heard about the monkey? And they'll tell a joke about black people right in front of your face, and you'll go, yeah. But stuff like that never happens to me. I don't ever get the privilege of being in a situation like that. See? After the souls are stolen or sold, where do they go? You know where they go? Miles a minute. When the souls are stolen or sold, they go in a box. They go into a figurative, they go into a box. And the box is held by the person who bought or stole the soul. They have it. It's not a literal box, but they got it. And once they got it, they can do with it whatever they please. And what it turns into, it's a great question you asked, by the way. It turns into a card. What do I mean when I say a card? It turns into a card that can be played on you whenever they get ready to play that card. So if there's ever a time where you wake up, if there's ever a time when you decide to go ahead and stop selling out, stop cooning and buffooning, if there's ever a time you decide, I'm speaking, man, I'm finna stand for this cause, then they will pull that card out. They will, hey, I know you were talking about standing for that cause, but remember this? Remember this right here? This you right here. And you go, oh man, okay. See? They tried to do that with Martin Luther King. When they were phone tapping Martin Luther King and they had tapes of his infidelities, they pulled that card out and were like, hey, we got this on you, bro. We know what you're doing and blah, blah, blah. So it would be best for you to go ahead and kill yourself now. This is what they told. This is what the FBI told Martin Luther King. Go ahead and kill yourself. That way, we won't put it out there. But if you don't kill yourself, we're going to expose this in front of the whole world. And it didn't work. Martin Luther King was like, psh, do what you do. So they figured out another way, because they're going to use what they can use to try to strike that fear in you in order to get you to bow down. See? So the souls are kept in a box, in a secret compartment, and they pull them out when they're ready. That's why you see things seem to perfectly happen or come out on folks right when a particular stance is taken. The rumor was Bill Cosby was getting ready to try to buy a major network. And the powers were like, no, you're not. Hand me that card. Go in the Bill Cosby file and pull that out. Deshaun Watson. I don't want to play for this team no more. Y'all, this organization is trash. I don't want. Oh, you don't? Hey, go in that Deshaun Watson file cabinet and hand me his card. Many more. They put it out. Come on, Tina. Truth, man. But high-profile individuals, they are viewed as having more to lose, especially when they have been, the people view them, or they have been built up in the eyes of the people to be morally high. So they're looking at what would have been the ramifications or the backlash on Dr. Martin Luther King if those things would have come out. That's how they're looking at it. That's why they played it like that, because it's like, oh, we can destroy his whole image, his whole reputation. But see, wise people don't fall for that. Meaning that just like you just dropped that science and said, man, who don't got infidelity? See, wise people in our community, we look at it like, man, look, bro, ain't nobody worrying about that. Because we're going to pull out our scale. The good things he's done versus whatever the bad things that there's. The people he's helped, the lives he's changed and influenced and made better, compared to this little stuff they said he did. He snorted some cocaine and ain't nobody care about that. See? Henry boy, salute to you, man. You are amazing. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the blessing as well, man. Appreciate you, Henry boy. Thank you, man. I don't know if I ever seen you before, Henry. I appreciate you if you're new. Papa Cash up in this thing, Jado up in this thing, Matthias. So we have to understand our own power. And part of our power is in the knowledge of our identity, the knowledge of ourselves. Because when coming into the knowledge of our true selves, then it instantly eliminates the need to feel like we have to portray a fake image. When you know who you are, you don't even want to be like nobody else. When I first started rapping, I was young. I was trying to find myself. So I was rapping like Run DMC. I was trying to rap like Tila Rock and LL, and I'm trying to find myself. Melly Mel, I'm incorporating different pieces of all these different great artists because I was yet to discover my own identity yet. But once I started to become me, I had the same love that I always had for them same brothers because they influenced me. But I didn't want to be like them. I didn't want to sound like them. I don't even like for anybody, to be honest with you, I don't even like people to compare me to nobody. I understand where people are coming from. People, oh man, you remind me of this guy. That I understand where people are coming from, but I know that not being braggadocious, it's nobody like me. Just like it's nobody like you. And nobody like them or him or her or whoever. So there's nobody like me. So in my mind, I'm like, no, I'm not like none of them. Because I'm not. And I don't sit around wishing that I was like somebody else. I'm fine with who I am, who I became, and who I molded myself into being. I'm good with it. I stand on me because I found me. You got to find you. And when you find you, you're not going to fake and act like nobody else. And you're not going to run around here willing to bend over just to advance in a falling world. But some of us don't know that this world is falling. So how many people would have kept their ticket to be on the Titanic if they knew beforehand what was going to happen to the Titanic? See, so if you knew in advance, if they showed, it's like 2,000 people on the Titanic, if they showed 200 of those people the future, say, man, I'm going to show you the future, and they saw that ship sinking, they saw them people dying, out of 200 people, if they showed that to, how many of them would have still got on that ship? Gotta be, this day and age, it's probably one or two that probably still would have got it. There's some crazy people in the world. Stop saying crazy. Stop saying crazy. It's some different kind of people in the world. But my point is, relay that to this present time in America. If you don't know that this system is a sinking ship, that this nation is a sinking ship, if you don't know, then you're gonna get on it and be partying and doing your thing and all that. But if you know, you're like, I'm not investing in that. So don't invest in the willingness to go sell your soul and be a part of this crap, because the devil, he knows that the Titanic is sinking, but he got to take as many people as he can with him. What's up, Gerard? Appreciate the love, man. Peter Birdsall said the Titanic was intentional. It don't matter. The point is, did it not sink? America is intentional. The Lord's protection over your life too, brother. Calculus. Best thing you can say to somebody. See? It's a good theory. So don't be, I don't know how many artists I got on this page, but I hope somebody see this. It's nothing worthy. It's nothing worth you selling your soul, man, and giving them people yourself, a part of yourself that you can never get back. Your dignity that you can never get back. All because you want a spot. They put Negroes on Fox News to talk about other black people. They do it on CNN. They do it on ESPN. ESPN has become that. See, the same things that we accuse Fox of being in terms of how they prop black folks up to shoot other black folks down, ESPN has become that. Sports Network has become that. So they put a bunch of cats up there that look, okay, we need you to, any of these athletes that are taking these, any athlete that wants to take a knee during the football thing, during the Colin Kaepernick time, any athlete that decides that they don't want to get punched in the arm, you're going to vilify them and tear them down. Any athlete that goes against what we are trying to push, because what they call big pharma, they are sponsors to a lot of these networks, Fox and others. So it's a saying that goes, he who pays the piper calls the tune. You say, Eminem, why they do him like that? What you mean, Tina? See? Thinking man. True words. Rio Grande, March 18th. I will be in Austin, Texas, March the 18th and the 19th. I got some working on the 19th. So I'll be out in Austin that whole weekend, man. So if you're in Austin, Texas, y'all come and mess with your brother. Y'all come down and kick it with your big brother, K-Rino. We're going to be doing some incredible things in the city of Austin, Texas. Good looking out. Yeah, Rio Grande, your big brother will be there. I'm a post and promote it and make an announcement. Now here I am talking about I wasn't going to be on here long, and look at me. Mike Cherry say, people talking real talk in here. Then you got Tina in a joke. Man, Larry Looney, I just read your comment there. Wow. Unbelievable. Shout out to LV. I don't know who LV is. That's my pops. Backlash, was it because he white taking a knee? Yeah, well, I saw that. The thing is, the backlash that Eminem received or is receiving behind him taking the knee during the halftime show at the Super Bowl. Imagine if Snoop would have did that. Oh my gosh. What if Kendrick Lamar would have done that? So we can look at it and say, well, yeah, man, that was cool. And I would say probably the funny part about it is I heard they told him not to do it. And he did it anyway. That was pretty funny. But yeah, glad he did it. But he's not gonna get the backlash that if a brother would have done that. See? Is that Mick Takala? Just came across your channel yesterday. And brother, I must say you're on point. Salute. Keep doing what you're doing. You gained a new subscriber. I appreciate that, Mick. Thank you, man. Hang around. It gets deeper. I can be as good as the best of them and as bad as the worst. Yeah. It's best to not sell your soul. Keep it 100 and remain poor. I will agree with the first part of it. I don't agree. I don't believe that you should remain poor. I think that's a myth that's been perpetuated, especially among Black people, because we have this thing that we just feel like we misquote a scripture because we always say money is the root of all evil. That is a misquote. We'll say, man, money is the root of all evil. That's not what it says. A1000, thank you. It says the love of money. The love of money is the root of all evil. So while we understand money to be a means by which we survive, we also understand that it is not something that should be worshiped, and it's not something that we should obsess over to the degree, like I said a few minutes ago, where you have people that will say, man, I'll do whatever I got to do to get this money. It's about getting this money. If I got to sell out, I'll get this money. If I got to tell on you, I'll get this money. If I got to do this, I'll get this money. If I got to if I'm a man, I got to let another man punk me out, I'm going to get this money. See? If I'm a woman, I got to get down on this casting couch and get ran through by a bunch of executives because they're going to give me this part in this movie, then I'm going to get this money. We're not supposed to be poor. We're supposed to be wealthy, but through the proper means. See, our unity will make us rich. See, when you think about Black-owned businesses, and you have friends who, hey man, I'm gonna open up a flower shop, but nobody in his family supports it. Friends don't support it. Other Black folks don't go. They pass right by his flower shop and go to the other one. Black ladies say, you know what? Since black women seem to be the ones who wear the most the weave and the wigs and the hair and all that, Maybe I should open me up a hair place. Nah, we're going to still go down the street to the Asian and let them follow you around the store like you're going to steal something and talk crazy to you, and then go right back the next week and spend some more money with them. See, that's the issue. When we don't lock in with each other to cause and create millionaires among ourselves, then that's a problem. We got to create millionaires among ourselves. Appreciate the love, Tina P. Make me up my own Tina P dictionary. See? So it's not that we should be poor. I don't want us to have that mindset that we supposed to be walking around here poor. We so poor we can't even afford the other O and the R. We just poor. We shouldn't be poor, man. If you look at a people who contribute, last time I checked, $1.6 trillion into the United States economy annually. That means every year black folks put in 1.6, I didn't say million, I didn't say billion, I said $1.6 trillion into the United States economy. We ain't poor. There's money, but the money is being mismanaged. It's being mismanaged. We're not spending it on what we should be spending it on. See? We are giving it back. It's not lingering in our community. It's not in our hands very long. It doesn't stay in our community very long. I'm not a financial literacy expert. I watch them here and there. I think I'm going to try to line up an interview with a financial literacy expert and see if they'll come on and give us some game. Henry, boy, salute to you. Once again, super effective. And I got a robot punching for me, huh? Appreciate that, Henry, boy. But our wealth is right there with us. Go on YouTube and listen to a song that I did at the request of my brother, Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad. It's called Economic Blueprint. And that'll tell you, because it talks about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's economic blueprint that he prescribed for black people way, way, way back in the day, decades ago. Just go listen to the song. I ain't gonna go into it. And it'll show you how easy it is and it would be for us to just free ourselves. That's right, Angela Poe. We can afford the other O and the R. Much love to you, Henry. See? Trying to tell you. So controversy sells because we have a sickness in our mind. Plain and simple. Let's just call it for what it is. If we will run to click a video of people fighting faster than we'll click a video about somebody teaching financial literacy, we got a sickness. Something wrong with us. Got the financial literacy video, the fight video. Click. Something wrong with us. We got to reverse, we got to rewire our thoughts. Angela, we all guilty of mismanaging money. All of us. The one says, if your house is on fire and you only have the desire to save yourself and leave the material behind, you good. Yeah, that's true. That should be the natural inclination, self-preservation, because you are the one thing in that fire that can't be replaced. You trying to get out of there, you kind of make sure you get your big screen out of there. And the whole house burn and collapse because you're struggling to get the big screen out of there when you can buy you another big screen. See? And the house is on fire. But the house that's on fire is this nation that we living in that has tricked us and molded us into these clout chasers. To some people, the clout is like money. Clout currency. It's a medium of exchange. It's a social media medium of exchange. Clout currency. I got a song that's coming out. I don't even want to tell you about my song. I ain't going to tell you. You'll hear when it come out. But that's what I'm talking about. Cut Dog says the sickness is we feel like we are not enough. So we bought into material things and show it off to the have-nots. See, yeah, that's from centuries of not having anything. That's from centuries of being devalued in this society and in this nation. That's from still being in the possession of a constitution that labels us as 3/5 of a human being, not even a full human being. That's centuries of imposed low self-esteem that makes us to a point to where the second that we just get a little bit of something material in our mind, it validates us and it makes us feel like I'm somebody now. Because look at this car I got now. Look at this watch. This watch costs $3,000. See, I'm somebody now. But that's a sickness. That cloud high. Michael W says, why aren't like 100,000 people watching this? Because again, controversy sells. Now, some would argue that truth is controversial. So truth is controversial, but that truth got to be coming out of the mouth of somebody who's on a little bit higher level than your big brother. Then you might see 100,000 people watching it. And that's fine, because it don't matter. The truth don't care who tell it, just like a lie. And we shouldn't care who tells the truth. We should just want the truth. So anything that I've said, I can guarantee you that somebody on a greater level said it and got a bunch of views off of it. So there is a place. People had this notion that consciousness isn't popular. It might not be as popular, but there's a place for it. But we got to rally behind it, because the truth be told, a lot of people who claim to be woke and conscious be on the cool, gravitating towards that madness too. Something we got to work out ourselves. Everybody. See? Let's put it in motion. D-Love. The rich don't necessarily have an attachment to the material because in a lot of cases, they've had it all in life. If you were born into wealth, money has never been a problem for you. Riding in Bentleys and Phantoms is not a big deal to you. Traveling around the world and flying on private jets is not a big deal to you. So they don't have that attachment because those things are constantly accessible. That's why a lot of them don't be happy, because those material things are still the norm. See? LaKenya Shaquan Williams. What up? Truth is as real as the person who's telling it. Rio Grande, thank you for the love, man. See, and see, Rio Grande, you just dropped the ball. See, the mismanagement of time is far more detrimental than the mismanagement of money. Time is the thing that we should be cherishing and using wisely and investing in the proper way. Dysphoric kick, thank you, man. Spread these words, man. Let people know that it's a bigger picture. See, when you come out of the condition that a lot of us come out of, we don't see the bigger picture. We just see, I was down here and it was bad. Now I'm up here. I feel good. I ain't worried about nothing else. I ain't worried about them that I left down there. And whatever I got to do to stay up here and get higher, that's what I'm going to do. We gotta get that out of each other. No one person can rise above the condition of his people, says the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm always quote words from that man because he's the wisest man living. Did I say living? Next Sunday, if you really want to hear some wisdom, tune in to noi.org and you will hear an address from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan on Savior's Day. Savior's Day is the commemoration of the birth, the celebration of the birth of the founder of the Nation of Islam, Master Farah Muhammad. Minister Farrakhan will be giving the address, as he always does on Savior's Day, next Sunday, 1 p.m. Central. That would be 11 a.m. West Coast time, 2 p.m. East Coast time. You got to check your times around the world, but go to noi.org if you want to hear the real man of God that's still among us. For how long, we don't know. God is great, Henry. I ain't waking nobody up. I'm just passing on what somebody said to me to wake me up. Battlefield Entertainment. My brother. I'm gonna have you ready tomorrow night, man. Don't let the devil put a spotlight on you, says Joseph Milak. You be the one with God, the light will always shine. Wise words. That's right, the swan song. Minister Farrakhan. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. If you never listened to the minister before, plenty of videos on YouTube. If you want to hear him live, tune in to noi.org Sunday. Next Sunday, not tomorrow. Next Sunday, not tomorrow. Peace and love, man. I'll catch y'all later.